Hi everyone and welcome to this Pilates class. Today we're going to be doing a slow burn Pilates, and I know a lot of you really enjoy this kind of Pilates. And what we're going to be doing today is focusing on that slow and controlled movement, that time under tension. We won't need any equipment. And we're going to really burn out the muscle and fatigue the muscle. So when you're ready, we're going to get started on our mat in a 4-point kneeling position. We're just going to come into some spinal mobility, some cat-cows, waking up the spine. So I want you to inhale, look up straight ahead, arching that back. Exhale, take your gaze towards your navel, flexing your spine, pushing the floor away from you. Inhale, look up, lengthen, arching the back, creating extension. Exhale, gaze towards your navel, scooping in the abs. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, gaze towards the navel, really push the floor away, and then come back to a neutral spine. What we're going to do now is we're going to lower down onto our left forearm. And we're going to start by warming up the hips. So we're going to come into some hip circles. We're going to take the leg out to the side, circle it up and around and back down. So exhale, take it up and around. Inhale, take it down. Follow your breath. We're getting into that hip joint, so we're moving the femur inside that hip joint. We try not to move the pelvis as we do that. We're just moving that femur. So let's go in the other direction. Take it up, around, and back down. Perfect. You should be starting to feel a nice warmth in that hip. Let's do another 2. Last one, up and around. And then we're going to extend that leg back behind us. I'm just going to move forward on my mat. Okay. We're going to exhale, lift that leg. Inhale, lower. So slow and controlled. Don't swing that leg up and down. Focus on that slow and controlled movement. Not lifting your leg too high so that you're arching in the back, opening up the ribs. That was a bit of an exaggeration, but it can happen, especially since I'm not watching you. So I need you to watch my form and listen to my cues. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, keeping that core connection. So we're keeping the ribs sliding down towards the hips, pulling in the belly button towards the spine. And then we're going to lift, bring it in, knee to elbow, crunching in the center, and then extend it back out. Exhale, bring it in, crunching the center, opening the hip out to the side a little bit, and then extending it back out. Okay, let's go for another 5. Slow, controlled. Last 4. Really focus on that mind to muscle connection as you do this. It's really going to help engage the glutes. Last 2. Last 1. Extend it out. And now we're going to drop the leg to the side, slow and controlled. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, bring it up. Perfect. Try not to arch in that back as you bring it up, keeping that core connection. So really focus on that core connection, making sure that you don't put any strain on that lower back, and also that we're connecting to the right places, working the core as well as the glutes. You should be feeling it in that supporting leg as well as that moving leg. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Hold it up. Little pulses up. Little exhales as you pulse up. We're really burning it out here. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, bring it in, press back to a shell stretch. A nice stretch for the glutes. And then we get to do that on the other side. So when you're ready, you can come back into your 4-point kneeling position. I'm going to go turn to the other side so you can see me. and then come back into your 4-point kneeling position. Lower down onto that right forearm. We're going to circle the femur inside that hip joint. So try and keep the hips square here, not moving around in the pelvis too much. Exhale as you bring it up. Inhale as you bring it down. Let's go for another one in this direction. And then we're going to take it up, around, and down. Mind to muscle connection, slow and controlled movements. Don't just swing that femur inside that hip bone. Really focus on the control. Neck in line with the spine. Last one here. Extend that leg long. Lift, lower. So we're just creating that slow and controlled movement, not lifting our leg too high so that we're arching in the back and flaring the ribs. We want to keep that core connection, that rib to hip connection, and that belly button to spine. Focus on the core and the glutes. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, your hips should be square, 1, and then we're going to lift, bend, extend it back out. Exhale, bend it in. Inhale, extend it back out, creating that length through the leg. Whew. My glute is on fire because we just kind of worked the side. When we did the other side, this was the supporting leg and it was burning. So now I'm feeling it much more. Okay. Opening the hip out to the side a bit. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Extend it out. Tap it to the side. Lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Feeling it in that supporting leg. But don't lean too much to the right side. You want to try and keep that body square to the mat, not leaning too far into one side. Try and keep that level, that balance between both sides. Let's go for another 3, 2, really lengthen that leg. Last one, remember the core connection. Little pulses up, little exhales as you pulse up. We're almost done here. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Woo. Take a nice shell stretch. And then we're going to rest the glutes just for a little while and come into some ab work. So when you're ready, you roll up and then come to seated in the middle of your mat. Roll down onto your back. I want you to make sure that you're imprinting your spine now, so you're pressing that lower back in towards the mat. And then we're going to bring one leg in at a time. We're going to lift up into our ab curl, gaze towards our knees, extend one leg, keeping that back pressed flat to the mat, and then we're going to alternate, coming into single leg stretch. If you want more of a challenge, lift your hands towards the ceiling, and if you want more of a challenge than that, bring them overhead so that your arms are in your peripheral vision. I couldn't say that, your periphery. There we go. But make sure when you bring them overhead, you're not dropping the head. So you're not bringing them overhead and then like dropping your head like that. You're keeping your head up, gaze towards knees. Perfect. Upper abs in an isometric hold. Exhale as you bring that knee in. Inhale as you switch. Okay. You're doing so well. Extend both legs out and then just flutter kicks. Create length through those legs. Keep that lower back pressed flat to the mat. Woo! This is starting to get hard. Okay, bend those legs in. Extend arms and legs out overhead, coming into double leg stretch. Bring it in to meet in the center. Extend it back out. Hug it back in. So, inhale, extend. Exhale, meet in the middle. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Remember to keep that head up, gaze towards your knees. You're doing so well. Follow your breath. Back press flat to the mat. Belly button to spine, no popping in the abs. We want to keep that intra-abdominal pressure. Last one. Lower that head down just for a minute. Shake that head, yes and no. Just releasing that neck. Okay, then we're going to take our hands behind our head, coming up into our ab curl. Extend one leg as you twist. Twisting opposite armpit to knee. So you're lifting up and over, not touching elbow to knee. Bring it back in, come to center. We're staying on the same side. So we're doing one side. Exhale as you twist. Inhale back to center. Lifting up and over. Opposite rib to hip connection. Getting into those internal, external obliques. Okay. Let's go for another 3, 2, 1. Hold it in your twist. Lower that leg. Lift it up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Your head is just resting in your hands. You're not pulling on your neck. And your gaze is just past that thigh. You should be feeling this in the abs. Very much so now. I'm even getting out of breath just by doing ab work. Okay, last one. Lower it down, bring it in. Okay, we're going to go straight into the other side, so stay with me. We need to burn it out. Okay, extend the other leg and bring that opposite armpit to meet that opposite knee, lifting up and over. Extend that leg long, make sure the back is pressed flat to the mat. Getting into those obliques, into the upper abs, into the lower abs. Woo! My body is shaking. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Hold it here. Lower that leg. Lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Gaze is just past that thigh. Keeping that belly button to spine. Ribs sliding down towards the hips. Keeping that intra-abdominal pressure. Last 2. Last one. Lower, bring it in. Woo! Hug it in. Extend that body long across the mat. Stretching out those abs. Woo! You should have felt a nice burn. Don't think I've been so out of breath from ab work before. Okay, we're going to come into a sideline position now. So you can rest your head in your hands. Make sure you're comfortable here. Your back is straight against the edge of your mat. Your knees are bent in a 45-degree angle and feet are stacked. Make sure your hips are stacked as well. You're pushing the top hip away a little so you've got a gap between your waist and the mat. We're going to come into our clams and we're going to burn it out. So we're going to exhale, open, inhale, close. It doesn't have to be a big movement where you are lifting that knee all the way up and opening up the hips. Keep the hips square to the front of the room. Perfect. Getting into the glute med and the glute min. Remember to keep that core connection and lift up in that side waist so that the hips are stacked. On our next one, we're going to lift the feet off the mat and then open and close that top knee. Keep the feet up. This is going to start to burn very soon. It's not burning right now, but it will very soon. We're really going to burn it out. Okay, exhale, open. Inhale, close. You can bring your hand down to the mat if you want to, wherever feels more comfortable for you. And then we're going to collapse everything and then open up everything, lifting the feet. So this is like an accordion clam. Perfect. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Let's go for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that leg, bend it in. Tap the toes, extend again. So really create that length through the leg, keeping the hips square. Perfect. Let's go for another 3, 2, 1. Bend it in, tap in front of you. So we're coming into some internal rotation. Extend it back out. Okay. Stay with me. You should be feeling the burn right now. I know I am. But we're going to finish out strong. Okay, on your next one, I want you to hold it out. Little circles with that foot. Try and keep the hips stable here so you're not rocking too much in the pelvis. Keep the circle small. Lift up that bottom foot. Don't lower it. Let's change the direction. Last 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Whew. Tap out that glute. Wow. Okay. Sorry if you hear any drilling. I have construction going on at the moment. Okay, we're going to come into a side kneeling position. Okay, so hand in line with knee. I want you to make sure your hand is underneath your wrist, is underneath your shoulder. Oh my word. Okay, your body is between 2 panes of glass. So neck is in line with your thoracic spine. And then we're going to lift and lower. Make sure the knee is underneath the hip. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And then we're going to add on. Bring that hand behind your head. We're going to lift, lower, come up, crunch to the side, come back down. Lifting that leg again, creating length through that leg, and then crunching in the obliques. Ipsilateral obliques, same side obliques. Exhale as you crunch it. Exhale as you lift. Hold it up. Little pulses up. Finish it out here. Bring it in. Woo! Okay. I want you to now, come down into a plank position. So make sure you're in an ugly plank. Your ribs are sliding down towards your hips. There's a slight tuck under the pelvis. You're squeezing those glutes and you're squeezing that core. It's not supposed to look pretty. And then we're just going to bring knee to chest, alternating each side. Okay, exhale as you bring that knee in. Inhale as you extend it back out. Okay, let's go for another 2. 1. Holding your plank. Stagger the feet, come into your side plank. We're going to lower the hips to the mat. Tap, lift. Getting into those obliques. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. If you need to take a modification, come down onto that knee. Otherwise, stay with the full version. Strong work. One more. Push up out of that shoulder. Woo. Come back down into your plank. Woo. Just take a moment here. I want you to lift that right leg, take it over the left, and push back to a pike. Pushing our chest through the arms. And then we're going to inhale, lower that left hip towards the mat, looking over our right shoulder. Exhale, press it back up to pike. Inhale, lower, look over that shoulder. Getting into those obliques. Strong work. Almost done. Let's do one more. Release that foot. Coming into your pike. Pedal out the heels. Okay. Bring the knees down to the mat. And then we're going to come into our clam series again. The side glutes. Burning out the right glutes this time. So come, rest down on your mat. Head in your hands. Make sure your back is in one straight line. Knees are bent. Feet are in line with hips. And then we're just going to open into our clam and close. Simple clam for now, and then we level up. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Remember to push that top hip away from your torso so that you have a gap underneath your waist and the mat. There should be like little ants that can run through there. Make sure when you open up that knee, you're not opening up the hips. The hips stay square. So go with your own mobility, your own range of movement. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. And you'll probably feel it much more on the side, considering we just worked it. Let's go for another 2. Last one. Lift the feet, open and close. Keeping the feet up. You can put your hand on the mat for support if you need to. Remember not to open up in the hips. Keep that core connection. Whole body is working hard. You're lying down, but your whole body is active. Last one here, open, and then collapse everything, open everything. Coming into our accordion clams. Perfect. Let's go for another 5. Last 4. Exhale, open. Inhale, close it down. Let's go for 2. 1, open it up, extend the top leg, bend, tap toes. Relax those shoulders. Make sure they are not up towards your ears. Woo, I can feel the burn. Let's go for another 3, 2, 1, hold it up, bend it in, tap in front of you, coming into that internal rotation, and then extend it back out. Okay, you're finishing out strong, really burning out the glute. Remember, on that slow and controlled movement, it's easier to get faster as you get more tired. And I notice that I'm doing that now. So I'm going to slow it down because this is a slow and controlled class. So slow down the movement. Extend it out. Circles. Circles backwards. Let's go for another 3, 2, 1. Change the direction. Okay. Keep that core connection. Belly button to spine. Last 2, 1. Bend it in. Tap out the glute. Okay, now we're going to come into our side kneeling now. So make sure your hand is in line with the knee. Hand is underneath the shoulder. and knee is underneath the hip. Extend that leg long. Make sure that you're between 2 panes of glass, and then you're going to exhale, lift that leg, inhale, lower. So create that length through the leg. Try and keep your neck in line with the spine. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Take that hand behind your head, and then we're going to lift. Press up, coming into our side crunch. Lower back down, lift that leg. Okay, remember, exhale as you crunch, inhale as you lower, exhale as you lift. Keep that control, that good form. Let's do one more here. Hold it up, little pulses up. Woo! It's burning. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Glutes are tired. Glutes are tired. Okay, we're going to finish out class. We're going to finish our class strong. I'm getting tired now. Tired and delirious. Okay, coming into your ugly plank. Squeeze the glutes, tuck the pelvis under, ribs down towards the hips. And then we're just going to step out one foot to the side, bring it back in, step out the other. Keeping that strong core. Trying not to move too much in the pelvis. Just try and move those legs. The upper body is still. The pelvis is as still as can be. So keep that stabilization. Okay, let's go for another 2. 1, stagger the feet. Come onto your right hand, lift that left hand to the ceiling. Lower down, tap, and then lift. Remember, you can take a modification here if you need to. Really lift those hips, squeezing those obliques, pushing up out of that shoulder. Last 2. Last 1. Take that hand back down. Take that right leg over the left. No, sorry, that left leg over the right. And then we're going to press back to a pike. Shift forward. Lower that right hip down towards the mat. Look over that left shoulder. Inhale, lower. Look over that shoulder. Really strong here. Getting into those obliques. You should feel this tomorrow in your obliques. Let's do another 2. Last one. Release that left foot. Lower down onto your knees into a shell stretch, releasing those shoulders. Those shoulders worked hard. Just taking a deep breath here, calming the nervous system down. And then we're going to come into a little bit of a stretch. So come back up, take that right leg in between your hands, extend that left leg long, lift up, create length, and then fold over. Stretching out the glute. You can lift up again, bend that left leg in, stretching out the quad. Release there. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So bring that left leg in. Extend that right leg long. Lift up, create length. And then fold over, stretching out the glute. Take a nice deep breath. After all the glute work, you should feel so good after doing the stretch while doing the stretch. Because we worked the glutes hard today. Bend that right leg. Grab hold of that foot. Bring it in towards your glutes. Stretching out the quad. Release it. Take that leg back. Press back to a shell stretch. And then you're going to ripple the spine forward. Lowering down the hips. Extending the spine. Soft bend in the elbows. Looking straight ahead. We're opening up the abs. Take that left leg out to the side in a 90-degree angle. And you'll feel a nice stretch in your right hip flexor. If you need to go lower to feel less of a stretch, you can do that. Make sure you're not locking out at the elbows. Bring that left leg back in. Extend that right leg out to the side. Feeling a nice stretch. Keep those hips level. And then bend it back in. Press back to a shell stretch. Come into the middle of your mat. We're going to finish this class with some lateral flexion. So take that right arm up and over. Followed by that left arm up and over. Come back to center, and that's it for today's class, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this one. If you have, please give me a like down below, leave me a comment. Let me know how you did, if you would like to see some more slow burn classes. And don't forget to subscribe down below, as it really supports my channel. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next class. Bye, guys.